My name is Ruby. I'm 24 years old. I saw him first at the coffee shop on Monday morning. He had dark hair and kind eyes. He smiled at me when he ordered his coffee. My heart started beating fast. I had never felt this way before. His name was Ethan. I learned this when the coffee worker called his name, Ethan. I liked that name. I watched him sit at a small table by the window. He read a book while he drank his coffee. I wanted to talk to him, but I was too scared. I just watched him from my table. He looked so interesting. He turned the pages of his book slowly. Sometimes he smiled at what he was reading. After 30 minutes, Ethan finished his coffee. He put his book in his bag and left. I felt sad when he walked away. I hoped I would see him again. The next day, I went to the same coffee shop. I waited and waited. Ethan did not come. I felt disappointed. Maybe he only came on Mondays. I told my best friend Nina about Ethan. Nina and I had been friends since high school. We told each other everything. We shared all our secrets. Nina listened to my story about Ethan. She seemed very interested. She asked many questions about him.
What did he look like? What was he wearing? Which coffee shop was it?
I answered all her questions. I was happy to talk about Ethan. Nina was a good listener. She always helped me with my problems. On Wednesday, I went to the coffee shop again. This time, Ethan was there. He sat at the same table by the window. He had the same book. I bought my coffee and sat at a table near him. I pretended to read my magazine, but I was really watching Ethan. He looked even more handsome than I remembered. Ethan finished his coffee and stood up to leave. This time, I decided to be brave. I stood up too. I walked toward the door at the same time as him. "Excuse me," I said. My voice was shaking. "I like your book. What is it about?" Ethan smiled. He had a beautiful smile.
"It's about travel,"
he said.
"I love reading about different countries."
We talked for 5 minutes outside the coffee shop. Ethan was very nice. He was funny and smart. When he said goodbye, he asked if I came to the coffee shop often. "Sometimes," I said. I didn't want to seem too interested.
"Maybe I'll see you again,"
Ethan said. Then he walked away. I was so happy. I felt like I was flying. I couldn't wait to tell Nina everything. That evening, I called Nina. I told her about my conversation with Ethan. Nina seemed excited for me. She said I was very brave to talk to him.
You should go back tomorrow,
Nina said.
Maybe he will be there again.
I agreed. I would go back to the coffee shop the next day. Thursday morning came. I got dressed carefully. I wanted to look nice for Ethan. I went to the coffee shop early. But when I arrived, I couldn't believe what I saw. Ethan was there, but he was not alone. Nina was sitting with him at his usual table by the window. They were talking and laughing together. Nina was smiling her biggest smile. Ethan looked very happy too. They looked like they were having a wonderful time. I stood by the door, watching them. My heart felt heavy. I couldn't move. Nina had never mentioned that she knew Ethan. She had listened to all my stories about him. She had asked so many questions. Now I understood why. Nina had gone to find Ethan after I told her about him. She had found the coffee shop. She had introduced herself to him. She had taken my dream for herself. I watched them for 10 more minutes. They talked like old friends. Ethan bought Nina another coffee. Nina touched his arm when she laughed. They looked perfect together. I turned around and left the coffee shop. I walked home slowly. I felt sick in my stomach. My best friend had betrayed me. She knew I liked Ethan. She knew I wanted to get to know him better. But she had gone to him first. That afternoon, Nina called me. She sounded very happy and excited.
I have amazing news.
She said,
I met someone today. His name is Ethan. He's wonderful. I think I'm falling in love.
I didn't know what to say. Should I tell her I knew? Should I tell her that Ethan was the same person I had talked about? Should I tell her she had stolen my dream? That's nice, I said quietly.
You sound sad.
Nina said.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, I lied. Nina talked about Ethan for 20 minutes. She told me how handsome he was. She told me how smart and funny he was. Every word hurt my heart. Nina said she was meeting Ethan again tomorrow. They were going to have lunch together. She was so excited. After Nina hung up the phone, I sat in my room and cried. I had lost Ethan before I ever really had him. But worse than that, I had learned something terrible about my best friend. Nina was not the person I thought she was. A real friend would never do this. A real friend would not steal someone you liked. A real friend would not lie to you. I decided I would not tell Nina the truth. I would not tell her that Ethan was my Ethan. I had learned an important lesson. Sometimes the people closest to us can hurt us the most. Sometimes we discover that our friends are not really our friends at all. That night, I looked at myself in the mirror. I was sad about Ethan, but I was sadder about Nina. I had lost 2 people in one day. The boy I liked and the friend I trusted. What would you do if you were Ruby? Have you ever had a friend betray you like that? Share your story or thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories to help you practice English. See you next time.